Understanding Quadrilaterals, Mathematics Class 8th, Chapter 3rd, Exercise 3.3. Question number 5. The measures of two adjacent angles of a parallelogram are in the ratio 3:2. Find the measure of each of the angles of the parallelogram. Here we understand that we are talking about parallelogram. With this, a thought should strike in our mind that we are talking about a quadrilateral, which is special, that has opposite angles equal to each other. That is, both the pairs of opposite angles are equal to each other, and they are not given to us. We need to find them, but we are given a hint in terms of ratio, that is 3:2. With this idea in place, let's dive into the solution part. We have told you various times in previous interactions that when we are talking about ratios, there is a hidden multiple involved that will give us exact measurements. So in our very first step, we just assume that particular multiple, and we know very well from our previous interactions that variables are always assumed with small letter that we have learned in chapter name linear equations in one variable. So you see, various fundamentals of mathematics are used in order to solve any problem. Therefore we write, let the common multiple for the ratio be equal to small letter a, and small letter a because it denotes angles. That's why we took small letter a. Now, with this assumption in place, we are in a position to find the exact angles measurement in terms of mathematical expression. Therefore, this is a sign of therefore. So we wrote, measure of each angle will be equal to, we need to multiply that common multiple that we have assumed as small letter a with our given ratio. So one of the angle will be 3a. Another angle will also be equal to 3a because we are talking about parallelogram and opposite angles are equal to each other. Also, another pair of angle can be found when we will multiply our common multiple a with 2. Therefore 2a and 2a. For pictorial representation, we have represented it over here. So 3a, 3a, that is opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal. That we know when we studied this particular word in this problem. Again, another angle will be 2a and 2a. With this, we have found all the four angles measurement in terms of mathematical expression. Now we shall use linear equation concept. That is, we know very well that sum of all the angles should equate to 360 degrees because we are talking about a quadrilateral, and parallelogram is a special type of quadrilateral. Now we wrote, since sum of all the angles will be equal to 360 degrees, and you know very well how to find sum of all the angles of any given polygon. That is simply 180 multiplied with number of sides minus 1. For a better understanding, you must watch previous exercises of this same standard only. Now therefore, we are just going to add all these mathematical terms. So 3a, 3a, 2a, 2a, they all get added up. That equates to 360 degrees. Now it is just a matter to solve this linear equation in one variable. Now add it up, 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 4 is 10. Therefore 10a equals to 360 degrees. We rewrote it because we are going to cancel. So 1 0 gets cancelled with 1 0. A is separated. Its value came as equal to 36. And we have assumed a for that common multiple. With this, we are in a position to find exact numeral value of those angles. Therefore we wrote, hence measure of each angle will be equal to 36 will get multiplied with this ratio 3. That is, you can also see here 3 into a, that is 36 into 3. 6 into 3 is 18, 1 is carry. 3 into 3 is 9 plus 1 is 10, 108 degrees. That is, if this angle is 108 degrees, the opposite angles facing to it will be equal to 108 degrees. Another pair, for this angle we need to multiply with 2. Therefore 36 into 2 is 72, or 6 2s are 12, 1 is carry, 3 2s are 6 plus 1 is 7. That is, you need not to shift towards rough side of your paper. Simpler calculations can be done in the step itself. So we have found two pairs as equal to 108 degrees and 72 degrees. With this, we have come to the answer part of this question, and we observe how easy it becomes when we know all the concepts. And mathematics is not just a single concept. It is a concatenation of all the concepts that you have learned so far in your previous standards. With this, our question number 5th has been solved. Moving on to question number 6. Two adjacent angles of a parallelogram have equal measure. Find the measure of each of the angles of the parallelogram. Again, the same problem. The difference is this time we are not given with the ratios. We are straight away given that adjacent angles of a parallelogram have equal measure. So what does it mean? It means all the four angles of the quadrilateral, or in this case parallelogram, will be equal to each other. Because if we talk about adjacent angles in terms of pictorial representation, if this is one angle, then adjacent angle will be this angle. That is, adjacent angles are those angles which are on extreme points of a line segment. So if we talk about this line segment, so this angle and this angle formation will be termed as adjacent angles, and they are equal. So it indirectly means that if we are talking about this angle, the opposite angle will be equal to this angle also. We know this angle is equal to this angle. It indirectly means that opposite angle facing this angle will be equal to this angle. With this, it is clear in our mind that all the four angles are equal to each other. This is only possible in case of a square or a rectangle. Here in this question, the key point to take away is this, that never dive into the question straight away. Always try to visualize the given problem. After all, these are all day-to-day life problems, or the three-dimensional problems that we observe in our daily lives. With this understanding in our mind, we can easily frame, that is, we will add all these four angles and equate it equal to 360 degrees. The same we shall do in the solution part. So first of all, let the common multiple for the ratio be equal to a, that is small letter a, it denotes for the angle. We are just solving it as we solved question number 5. Therefore, measure of each angle will be equal to a for one angle, a, because all the four angles are equal. Nothing written before it simply means the coefficient of this variable a is 1. In the previous question, it was given in terms of ratios. Therefore, we multiplied it with 3 and 2 respectively. But this is not the case over here. And the reason being, parallelogram has opposite angle equal. Therefore, we have a combination of 4 angles. Now, we are going to add it up and we are going to write it mathematically. Since sum of all the angles will be equal to 360 degrees, therefore, when we will add all these 4 angles, that is, we have assumed it to be small letter a, will be equal to 360 degrees. Add them, we get 4a equals to 360 degrees. Rewriting it, because we have a cancelling opportunity, 1 4s are 4, 4 9s are 36, 0 as it is. A is separated, its value came as equal to 90 degrees. This time we are not dealing with ratios, therefore we straight away wrote, hence measure of each angle will be equal to 90 degree. Or we can write it as each is a right angle. That is, this square box means 90 degrees. So the important takeaway from these questions is this. First of all, always visualize in terms of pictorial representation. Next is, we have to concatenate all the fundamental concepts that we have learned so far in previous standards. With these two things in mind, solving any mathematical problem is a fun process. With this, question number 6 of exercise 3.3, Understanding Quadrilaterals, Mathematics Class 8th, Chapter 3rd, has been solved.